Hey guys, Dr. Bryan Wills coming to you live from Wills Chiropractic. Hope you guys are having a great day. It's beautiful, it's sunny out. It's kind of the middle of May. We're kind of winding down hopefully the lockdown thing here. So make sure you get outside, get plenty of fresh air. This whole month is going to be kind of about posture, ergonomics, stuff like that. And today I really want to hit the whole ergonomic thing. We're starting to see a lot of patients over the last few weeks in particular that have been working from home, and your home office isn't set up usually like your actual office is where you go to work. Most businesses now kind of pay a lot of attention to ergonomics and your workstation setup, and obviously at home we really don't think about that. Now that we're forced to work from home, we're starting to see a lot of I would call it workplace injuries that are happening at home. So most of you are working on laptops now, which are not very good to work off of, especially positioning wise. So I just want to give you a few tips today, kind of how to set your home workstation up a little bit to make it not only a little easier for you to work, but to help avoid some of the things that we're seeing in the office with headaches and neck problems, shoulder issues, even wrist issues as well. So the thing you want to make sure is when you're working at a computer is that your eye level is pointed straight ahead. We talked last week about tech neck and how looking down puts a tremendous amount of wear and tear on the neck, causes a lot of degenerative changes, and end up leading to surgery after a while. Well, working on a laptop or something or looking down at your computer monitor all the time does the exact same thing. So we want to make sure we raise that monitor up. Now again, you guys are probably working on laptops at home, and laptops, obviously you can't move the monitor up and down. So what I've been suggesting to a lot of our patients is they go ahead and buy a wireless keyboard and a mouse so that you can prop that laptop up so at least you're looking straight ahead. So you can use some books to prop it up. You can even get a little stand to prop it up as well, but usually a few books will do the trick there, and use that with the mouse, the wireless mouse and the wireless keyboard. It'll help get your eyes looking straight ahead as opposed to looking down, because again, down is bad, ends up tearing the neck up there a little bit. The other thing that we also run into is people are maybe data entry type of folks, and they'll end up sitting their computer monitor over here, their laptop over here, and they're reading their stuff over here. So they're constantly doing this the whole time. And anytime you're putting that much torque on your neck, obviously, again, going to lead to a lot of shoulder, neck issues, headaches, all those things kind of involved there. So you want to make sure you're kind of looking straight ahead. So book props are real nice. You can set things up right next to it so that you're basically only having to look maybe just a little bit here or there, only here to here and not here to here all the time would work great as well. We're also seeing a lot of folks with lower back pain now that had it before because their chairs are terrible, right? We don't have the fancy office chairs we have at work. We kind of have the kitchen table chair, which is not designed obviously to be seated at for long periods of time. So what I like to do, and what we do at home, is we just got a big exercise ball to sit on. The reason I like those so much is because it actually engages your core muscles. So while you're sitting there and working, you're actually going to work your muscles as well. And we talked about a few months ago, proprioception, kind of that movement of the spine, is a nutrient your brain absolutely needs to be able to function properly. So sitting an exercise ball is a great way to do that. Again, it forces you to kind of stabilize and work your core a little bit. And also, really you can't slouch on an exercise ball. You can't do that roll forward thing. It forces you to kind of sit up straight the way that we're supposed to. So exercise balls are really inexpensive. We have them here obviously, but Walmart still carries them as well. You can order them online. They don't cost a whole lot. Just want to make sure when you buy one that when you sit on it, your thighs, the bottom part of your legs make a 90-degree angle. You don't want to be sitting up too high or sitting down too low with it as well. That brings me to the other tip that I want to give you also, and this comes straight from my aunt, who she was having a lot of low back issues. She does a lot of computer work, and I was asking her how she sat at her computer desk, and she's a big leg crosser. So she would literally sit, the computer's here, her legs would be facing this way, crossed, and she would just turn and do this. And she couldn't figure out why her back hurt. I'm like, well, if you sit like that for 8 hours a day, that's absolutely going to tear your back up. So want both your feet flat on the floor. Now I know some of you may be a little bit on the shorter side. You can't get your feet all the way down there. So like my wife, I might have her put like a little bench or some books underneath her feet just to keep them flat on the floor so they're not dangling there, because it causes a lot of sciatic issues as well. Okay. The other thing that I tell people to do a lot of is to get standing desks. So nowadays you can get those pretty much anywhere, those seated to standing desks where you just kind of raise them up or lower them. Those are definitely better for you. Obviously sitting all day long is not good for you. We'll talk about that probably next week about the sitting. But to be able to stand and kind of use your muscles and move around a little bit is much better than sitting down there. The last thing I'm going to go over with you isn't such a big deal anymore, but I'm still finding a little bit of issues with it, is that people either don't have Bluetooths or don't have headsets, and they're on their phone. They're kind of doing that old pinch thing there where they're typing on there on the phone thing. So make sure you got a good Bluetooth. Headsets work great for a lot of these Zoom meetings that we're doing. Kind of blocks out a lot of the ambient noise. That you're not having to be distracted from that as well. Plus people can actually hear you because you're speaking to a microphone. And the very last thing I want to go over real quickly is just your hand position. So carpal tunnel obviously is a huge issue. People that use laptops all the time, especially when they're working on their lap, like I've talked to a lot of patients about, their wrists are bent upwards all the time, so they're constantly doing that. And it puts a lot of torque on those wrists, those carpal tunnels, causes a lot of hand numbness, hand pain, stuff like that. So you want your arms pretty much parallel with the floor. So however high or low you have to move your chair to get your hands kind of parallel with the floor would be much, much better. So there's 5, 6, 7 tips or so for you to kind of set up your workstation at home. There's a lot more I can talk to you about, but again, I wanted to give you some quick tips today to kind of start changing your workstation because most of us will probably be working at home for a while here. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below so we can get them answered. And until next time, keep living the dream.